So hi, One Look Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
This is Mike.
Adam.
Chris, and we're ALPHAMEGA.
All right, some questions to say about their new album, Regeneration Machine. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
It's been going great so far. Yeah, we finally were able to get this out to everyone, and we're really excited about it. And people seem to be enjoying it, and it's going over well live on this tour we're on right now. And so we're super pumped.
Yeah, it's nice to be on the road when an album comes out, so you have that interaction from the people literally right in front of you, as well as stuff that's happening online as well. So it's cool.
Yeah.
It's been received really well.
Absolutely. The album rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks.
So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can speak on what it means to me. We were all sort of individually in different places with music before we came together as a band. And to me, the coming together of this band and the album title mean a second life, like a rebirth into music, basically, again, that for me came at a time when I wasn't sure what was going to be happening with me musically. And I just look at these songs and what the songs mean as a collective whole and what these two guys mean to me as friends. And it was just a rebirth, basically, back into music and back into life. That's what it means to me anyway. So
yeah, to me, the title kind of it's like a metaphor for the resilience of the human spirit, and especially with the lyrical kind of themes of a lot of the songs. You can get beat up and broken, but find a way to rejuvenate, basically, and come back stronger than you were previously.
Yeah, and also with just regenerating and reforming after like the whole COVID thing. It's like everything stopped, and like we're just regenerating and getting back into it even stronger.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
Oh man,
there's a lot about that.
we basically formed in 2018, and we basically only existed in the studio up until last year. We started finally playing live. So there's been a lot of writing, a lot of pre-production, and then a lot of actual final tracking. So we essentially have recorded, two albums worth of material. And we were kind of finding ourselves, fine-tuning our sound along the way. And so in terms of, inspiration and creative catalyst, there's all different types of things can inspire the songwriting. And that varies from song to song and person to person, and whoever starts the idea and however it gets finished. Everything kind of goes through our collective filter, though, so we all sign off on it. There's a piece of everyone in every song. But this album kind of comprises what we felt were the best and maybe, the best diversity for like an arc of an album as well, to kind of show off different flavors and different colors of stuff that we try to do.
All right.
Absolutely.
And go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just going to touch on, you said that you guys have been a band for basically about 5 years now, and you've only just recently started touring. So do you guys feel that the energy is still there when you are on stage versus in the studio? Because you guys only played in the studio. And was there any anxiety kind of like with those first couple shows or even up to now, because it is a completely different environment than in the studio?
Yes and yes.
Go ahead.
I think that we definitely on this tour we get 30 minutes a day, and we get up on stage and we leave it all on the stage. Like our energy is just put out there for everybody, and just getting people pumped up and really into it. So that's something that we're doing for the energy question. So, but you can go. Yeah.
I think everybody's in the same boat, the listener and the performer. We've been inside, confined to our homes and other things like that through COVID. And there's now that life is generally back to, we're able to go to shows and all this stuff, like there's this pent up energy of like almost 3 years, like we're just ready to go on stage. So like there's nothing but, I mean, we're live musicians. Like this is what we live for, you know, like I don't want to sit in a studio and just pump out music and never go out and play it for people. But that's the position that we were in for like the past 3 years, you know? So it's like now we have this opportunity to go and play, and it's plenty of energy. Like we're ready to go, and we want to be playing live. So the energy's there, and we're just happy to be out here doing it right now. So.
And was there anxiety? Yes. Because for me, I hadn't played a show in 5 years. And so it was a little bit like, do I still know how to do this? You know? So that first show was a little nerve wracking, but especially being out on this tour now, I mean, I look forward to it every day. It's the highlight of the day. And I fell back in love with playing live, because I do enjoy being in the studio and honing in and that creative process, but that's a whole completely different mindset. So this made me kind of fall in love with playing live again.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, sounds great. So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
What was the first part? I'm sorry.
Sorry. Which song off this album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Jeez, took long. I know which one took the shortest. Took the longest to write. Casket, because it went through so many different.
I don't really know that. I don't know the answer to that.
Favorite, my favorite. I can tell you two highlights for me. I love "Good to Be Numb" and I love "Sound of Your Excuse." I love to play "Sound of Your Excuse" live. It's in our set. I think it's under 3 minutes, and it just kind of smacks you on the face. It's melodic. It's hooky. It's got kind of all the check boxes. And I just off my memory, I feel like "Neon Casket" probably took the longest to write, because I think that went through kind of an more extensive demo phase. So there was a lot of kind of back and forth on that one.
I would say, lyrically, like all of this stuff is mine in that sense. So like all these songs mean so much to me, because it's like everything that I was feeling over the past 5 years, especially with, the lockdown and stuff like that too, where I got to I thought more about my mortality, and I thought about, my life and how I've been as a person, and just, you have nothing but time with your thoughts. And so probably for me, just lyrically, I think that "The War" probably means the most to me, and it's the least heavy song on the album, but lyrically it's like, it's exactly what I was feeling throughout this whole thing. Like, art is my own life going to get better, my personal situations. It's a song about reflection and wanting to be able to see past whatever bad thing or trauma that you're going through right now, just to know that you're okay. And it's like, I've been looking at life and like taking things that have been happening as like signs that maybe things are going to get better, aren't going to get better. But I think lyrically for me, "The War" is probably my favorite track on the album. So.
All right.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one of your children in this situation, because it's like we like them all, I mean, there's even some other tracks that didn't make the record that are awesome too, and that we like as well, but we just went with this collection of songs. I'd have to say, like, live, I have to agree with Mike. Like, playing "Sound of Your Excuse" is great. And that's one of my favorites, just because it's like right in your face, energy the whole time, and it's got a great catchy hook to it. Everything about that song is great. I think live too, "To the Wolves" is a great one. I really enjoy playing that. I love the bridge in that song as well, where it drops down. There's some great lyrics there, and it just makes you feel a shit ton, "To the Wolves" also too. Another one I think is obviously "No Longer Broken" for me too. I think all of us like that one too, but "No Longer Broken" is a great one, and I like that one a lot. So,
hell yeah. So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer? Did you shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
Fist fight.
Damn, to the death.
Yeah. I got the track listing. No, we knew that we were going to open the album with "To the Wolves," and we knew we were going to close it with "Neon Casket." And then from that point, we all kind of thought about it. I think Mike kind of helped get the flow going and passing it along to us. You know what I mean? We're very much, if somebody has an idea for it, we throw it to the wolves. We throw it to us. And then we just kind of go back and forth and hash it out. But like Mike kind of got that track listing where it is. And I think it's a pretty solid ride as far as it goes. But we did always know that To the Wolves was going to kick it off and Neon Casket was going to close it. So,
all right.
Gotcha.
Well, real quick, Mike kind of, Mike thinks a little bit more in the sense of keys of songs, a little bit, and also to giving the listener a ride when you're putting all those songs together. And so he came up with an order that kind of did that, heavy songs, a little lighter song, and kind of like spaced it out a little bit. And so, he did a great job with, getting these in order.
Absolutely. I do think the flow is immaculate.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah, keys and tempos. I just want to make sure it wasn't like front loaded and all the heavy stuff was in the top and then it's all like snooze fest the rest of the way.
Exactly. I hate when bands do that because, as you said, it's just a snooze fest. You lose interest if you put like all the slower stuff at the end, because I get so excited at the beginning,
Yeah, they call it front loading, where they put like the first 5 or 6, like all that, and then they put the rest of it out.
The sleepers at the end.
Yeah. We want to make you sleepy a little bit along the way.
Exactly, and then just wake you up immediately afterwards.
Start to get sleepy, slap.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Nice crack to the temple,
Yep, wake back up.
God. So would you guys be able to tell us where Headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Snorkeling.
Yeah. Well, first, I guess first we have to explain where our actual heads existed at that time. So we were fortunate enough to be able to have the unique experience of recording this album in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I guess I could do, let's do a little bit of a backstory to get us there, right? Because it's like, how did that happen? I'm sure would be a question. So let's do that. So we had recorded a body of work prior to the pandemic hitting. And when the pandemic hit, nobody was doing anything. So we're like, why would we release anything if we can't go play shows, if we can't do any of that stuff? So we were sitting on a body of music. Well, one of those songs happened to be To the Wolves. And so To the Wolves, I sent it to my friend, John Berkland, who plays drums in Bad Wolves. And he was like, dude, this song is really good. I happen to know this guy who's starting a label. The label's in the Cayman Islands. And he's like, I'm going to pass it to him. He's like, and maybe you'll hear something from him. Well, I gave it to John. John gave it to him. His name is Jake. A couple days later, Jake hit me up and was just like, this song is awesome. He's like, do you have anything else that you're working on? And so that sort of started the snowball of events where I gave him everything else that we had so he could check it out and listen to it. He was like, this is great. I really want to see what can happen here and work with you guys. And, you have to be a little bit skeptical of like, people say Cayman Islands, all you think it was like offshore, like bank accounts and like, you know what I mean? Like all this weird stuff. So we're just like, sure, whatever, this guy from the Cayman Islands wants to like sign us and everything else. So that process of getting to know each other and getting lawyers involved and finding out if all of this stuff was actually legit, like took the summer of 2021, basically. To find out that all this stuff was actually something that we should pursue. And so when we worked everything out with Ironshore is the name of the label that we're signed to. When we worked everything out with Ironshore, we were told that we were going to go down. They were going to take us down to Cayman where their studios were to be able to record. And we went down to the Cayman Islands. John Berkland came down to produce. He brought along his writing and producing and mixing team, which was Josh Gilbert, formerly of As LA Dying, now in Spirit Box, and then Joseph McQueen did all the mixing and mastering, and he's done a bunch of stuff. Most recently, Bury Tomorrow and Bullet for My Valentine, and a lot, Bad Wolves, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So we were like, these other people that are heavy hitters are getting involved, sight unseen, basically, to go down there, and we're just like, we're gonna go too, so we're gonna see what happens. And we got down there, and it was a complete amazing, unique, once in a lifetime, especially now events that have happened recently, for us anyways, to be able to record where we did, this beautiful home, beautiful studio right on the beach. Like it's just something that doesn't happen, and it definitely isn't something that we're used to. So we're very, very appreciative of everything that happened. So the writing process was, we were down there for over a month. We worked 6 days a week with a day off, and we basically wrote most of, out of the 13 songs that are on the album,
5, 6,
5, 6, 7 of them, were the ones that ended up being the ones from those sessions that made the album. That's what I'm saying, like, gotcha. The ones that we actually worked on down there. So it's probably even more than that, but yeah, and that brings us to where we recorded, and that's it was a very unique, awesome experience to be able to record where we did. And I think that was a big part of where our headspace was, which is now I'm realizing after I've talked forever and got away a little bit.
You're tying it all together.
Yeah, the headspace was very much this like close-knit, really unique writing environment that I think just allowed us to be in the moment and creative, and it really created this awesome unity between everybody working, where we were all just very, very appreciative of what was happening around us. And I think that made that working environment super easy to be able to put all these songs together. So it was a great headspace to be in, for sure.
Good.
That's a wild fucking experience. Like, we've had bands tell us some crazy spots that they've recorded records, but that's one of the top ones for sure.
That's one of the best ones for sure. I wish I could go to the Cayman
top
Islands.
one for me ever, and probably won't ever be top. So
yeah. And another great thing about that too was, like, we worked from 11 to 7, so those are our hours, right? And so we'd get up in the morning and have food, but also too, for me, it was like I actually got to get up early and go out and go snorkeling. That's why I made the snorkeling comment. And so when I was out there, it was just beautiful. So it's like it was relaxation, but it was also work. And I think that all just made us feel better. Like, we're in this beautiful place. Yeah. That we're just like, how can we not actually enjoy this recording process? Mm-hmm. So yeah, Headspace I feel is really good out there. It was a nice way to set the tone and have a great experience with everybody.
Hell yeah.
100%.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
All the above.
Yeah.
Workout album, party album. We've got workout. We've got late to the party. There's party in the name of that song, Listen with friends, share with friends. Listen to the dark in the closet, whatever you want to do. That's my answer. Everything you said and more. Just listen
and more.
All right.
On good speakers, please.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put on a pair of headphones instead of listening through just your phone speakers, But
yeah.
Yep.
Don't look at me, Glory.
Obviously, I always, people aren't going to have, not everybody in the world or even in the United States right now are going to have the opportunity to see it live. But I know what this band puts into our live performance. So it's like, if there is somebody listening out there that is going to be able to check it out live at some point, like we want to be a live band, So for me, it's always the live experience. But if not, we've got a bunch of music videos out there. YouTube's a great place to start to check things out too. And yeah, we're on every platform. So
yeah, we had a guy last night at our show come up to us afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I kind of checked out your music a little bit and I was familiar with it, but then it's like, I didn't know you went that hard live. So I think there is an added element of, there's an extra little layer of the icing when you come to see us live. It's it's a little more fun. So definitely come see us if you can.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 9 total, no more, no less.
We're going to steal each other's words.
Yeah, we are. I think we are. So let's see. Okay, I think we all did. Okay, let me see. Who wants to go first?
Okay. All right. Immersive, cathartic, powerful.
Nice.
Damn, off the dome.
I'm going to say, you're going to use one of the words in there.
The P word?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go authentic, passionate, and hopeful. That's what
Damn.
that's what I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna go with uplifting, strength, and sick. Yeah, let's just go with sick. I
There
guess.
you go.
You know, it's funny because we all actually, I think, all answered this question, and we all had different words. Actually,
Right. I don't
down.
remember what I said.
And I don't remember what I said either, but we all used different words.
I think I used immersive, but I don't.
So I can't remember my other one, but sick, I guess. But there was something else that I had that actually meant something better than sick, but I can't think of it right now.
Sorry, we ended on a laugh.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's good.
The rest
Okay.
of it
Why
was
are you
like
guys laughing? At
super.
me?
Yeah, right.
It's always laughing.
We're laughing with you.
Yeah, right.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I mean, I think we kind of all hit it on the head with our answers here too. Like, I really want people to relate to the authenticity of like the subject matter and emotions that are happening with these songs, but really connect with that feeling of like it's going to get better. Like, there's that hopefulness, you know what I mean? The light coming from the dark. And that's really, the band, we have this motto, like when you check out the CD and everything on there, it's called beautiful things come from ugly places, right? So it's this idea that there is always something good that can come out of the bad. And that's, I think, really sums up what the music is about and what we're about, when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're going to drag you through the mud, take you down to the depths a little bit, and then pick you up and regenerate you.
Oh,
Damn.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Machine. Yeah. Organic, no machinery.
Okay, there you go. So, are you guys able to talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
I mean, positive, obviously, the whole K-Man experience of actually going down there and doing it was, like they had just touched on. It was an amazing experience. It was lent itself. A lot of people were, when we were doing it, friends and stuff, were like, "Are you going to be able to write, heavy, dark music at a beautiful island?"
Mm-hmm.
But it actually, because our headspace was where it was, we had a gym on site, we had a beautiful pool, we had the beach, so our headspace is really clear and allowed us to focus and really channel the creativity. So it was a pleasurable experience making this record. Challenges, I mean, there's always a song or two where it's like you have to kind of they don't all come together super quick, so finding the right arrangement sometimes and making sure it's what we want it to be. I think World Afraid of Tomorrow definitely changed a lot from the demo. That took a little bit of work, right?
Yeah.
Like it had a kind of a 90s like chorus.
I present a unique challenge for these guys because whatever songs I write are always usually 5 BPM slower than what they need to be. So it's like, I'll bring a song to the table and they'll be like, that'd be great if it was this much faster, Like, I have terrible timing, and I probably present a challenge for these guys.
Well, but what's great to touch on that, what's great about Adam is what I love about working with him, he writes everything on acoustic guitar for the most part. Like 90%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's where the 5 BPM thing, because he's kind of on the couch, he's in a vibe, you know what I mean? It's got the acoustic, it's really got the candles going, real intense. So when he presents it to us, sometimes if we want to make it more of like a rock thing or whatever, we might need to give it a little push for energy. But the silver lining in that is that there's already the blueprint and the solid foundation of what the song needs to be already there in terms of chords and melody are in place. So that saves us a ton of time because it's like the song's there and then we can dress it up however we want. We can make it metal, we can make it atmospheric, we can do this, we can do that. The meat and potatoes is kind of already there and we just bump it up 5 BPM.
Yeah.
All right. So since you guys are on tour, we have to ask, what's been the go-to snack when you guys are stopped at a gas station for a rest stop?
Coffee.
Doritos.
Yeah, Chris and I are getting down on the Doritos.
Yeah, I Probably, yeah. Like I have a high protein diet, so it's like whatever I can get my hands on that doesn't have a ton of sugar or carbs in it and has a jacked up protein amount. Like that's the way I eat. So sometimes gas stations don't exactly give you the best options for that kind of stuff without it being smeared with like a crap load of chemicals and everything else. But I do what I need to do. So probably like some hard boiled eggs.
Sometimes we'll
in the cup.
We'll pull over and we'll find
Just kidding, because that would be the worst thing ever to eat from a gas station. Probably a sandwich in Teflon. Yeah, no, none of that. It's difficult for me sometimes to find the right type of food that I want to eat from a gas station. So an energy drink will get me through to the next place that hopefully will have a better selection of meal.
Yeah, we almost hit a raccoon last night, which is a shame because he could have had a snack.
Okay, now, hey. No, I know you just said you try to avoid like chemicals and stuff with like protein, but have you heard of protein Pop-Tarts?
Oh, I saw one sitting on the counter of my apartment before I left, and I questioned existence because I was just like, how is this possible?
Right.
I didn't eat it, but now that you mentioned that, yes, and only like the day that I was leaving right before tour, somebody in my house, maybe my stepson or my wife. I doubt it was my wife, so it was probably one of the stepchildren. But yeah, they had one on the counter, so I have heard of it now.
What's
so.
it? What's the protein? What's it made out of? Do you know?
Dude, I have no fucking clue. It's just in like our last interview, someone mentioned it, and I was like, "There's no way that's real," and it is. It's like all the flavors as well.
Oh, what?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and it's just protein.
The cookies and cream one that I saw. Like,
so it's like a protein shake, but like a hard version.
Yeah.
But like, in like a cute little shape with like the fake icing that isn't really icing. It's kind of questionable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I should have flipped it over and looked at like the paragraph that's on the
back. A fucking
one of the ingredients, So at a certain point, as soon as I hit something, I stop and I'm like, yeah,
that's enough. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Steak.
Yeah, probably steak.
Well, not what our favorite, not what our.
If we were a dish.
Yeah, if we were a dish.
Well, we need to get some of the variety.
Yeah, it's right. You gotta have varieties of spice of life here.
Nachos,
yeah, seafood platter.
You know what? I'm gonna say something.
Cheesy.
I'm gonna say something. Yeah, I was gonna say. I could be super corny on this too, and be like, we're a well balanced meal.
There we go.
I would say you need to have. It goes back to the same thing, but it's like a strength and something where you feel good at the end of that meal. So you want to have something in there that's going to sustain you. You're going to want to have something in there that is a little bit of a treat. And then you're going to have something in there that is just a foundation of health, So I can't necessarily name what those three foods are, but that's what that plate of ALPHAMEGA goodness should have, something. Yeah.
That's good. So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
All right, so for death row, I'm picking Snoop Dogg to eat because death row is amazing. And anyways, no, just kidding. So death row. That was my answer.
It's your last meal.
I know. Jesus.
I'm glad you went human though.
Right. Like, damn. All right, trying something new.
So last meal. Oh God.
And he's very skinny, by the way. So I don't know how much meat.
I would probably do like a chicken Alfredo pasta.
Damn right. And what are you drinking with that?
Yeah, just because I just go out with
and then what's a drink with it, I think, right?
What's a drink?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd probably go with a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Nice.
Damn.
I know.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
I'm going to do a ribeye, potatoes au gratin, a salad with ranch, and a Chianti Classico.
Damn, that is a beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful meal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get that right now. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. If this is last meal, like I'm going out, dude.
Of course.
So
of course.
I would probably eat a pound and a half of tri-tip. I would have a huge bowl of peanut butter chocolate ice cream, and I would wash it all down with probably a straight whiskey. If it was the last thing I was gonna do, I'm gonna drink on my last day too, because I don't drink very often. So it's like I would do all of the things that I normally don't do, and put that. But that would be it for me. So
all right.
Hell yeah, awesome. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Is that someone else's fictional world that's been presented to culture, or are we making it up right now?
So it's just kind of like a movie, a show, a book, a comic. Yeah.
So like if we wanted to pick like the movie Avatar, like if we wanted to live there and like that, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, don't want to live there.
Don't want to live there. That's good. Glad you got that off your list.
A fictional place. I'd probably want to live like in a Disney movie. It could be like a evil one or a happy one.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be terrifying, but one of my favorite movies is Alien.
Oh no!
Get me Ripley and let's go.
That's fair. Just like glue each other to yourselves. That makes no sense. But just you got to stay with her no matter what.
I would want to live, I think, in also probably like a sci-fi world or like an action world, but I want to be the person that lives.
Okay.
So, I mean, some of my favorite movies are, like Aliens, Terminator 2, like that sci-fi world. I think I want to live in a world where I'm like the hero and just like leading the day, you know what I mean? And it's just like I'm not a violent person, so it's just like it would be cool if I was stuck in a fantasy world to just be like that character that's just kicking ass and like having, you know what I mean? So that's probably where I would go. Yeah.
Sounds good. So I've done of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Pink. Oh, go ahead.
It's a good color.
Pink for me.
Okay.
Blue and any variation of blue. I like the blue realm. So
black. I know it's not a color. That's my answer.
All right.
It's not, but we'll take it.
We'll take it. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Well, we have our album Regeneration Machine that's out now. We do have physical CDs. We have a merch store, ALPHAMEGAmusic.com. We have a lot of different designs that we don't have out on the road with us there. There's hoodies, there's koozies, there's all sorts of stuff to look at. You can get our CD there. Follow us on our socials, ALPHAMEGA Music at everything, I think. And come see us on tour right now. We're out with Halocene featuring Lauren Babick. We're about halfway through or so. So check out the dates. They're on our website. They're on our socials. And hopefully we can meet some of you guys at a show. I don't know when this airs, but
we don't either.
We'll be playing the 16th. So
hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sound. It's been ALPHAMEGA, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.